It is finally time to get back to this PC repairathon. By the time this video goes live, it will be between maybe 7 weeks to the day to possibly as long as 8 weeks since my last video went live. That hiatus was not planned. March was a month of very high highs and very low lows. I entered a couple beers in a homebrew competition, and one of them got third place best in show, so it won its category and got third place out of, I want to say, 59 beers. That was at the Portland Brewers Collective Stout Bout. I did really well at the SideQuest Expo. I sold probably about half a carload of stuff, so I freed up a lot of room in the basement for more junk / amazing items. And I had a terrific birthday party. But pretty much everything that wasn't one of those things was just terrible. It was just terrible. So a whole bunch of life drama completely derailed everything. I am happy to finally be back to finishing up this video. I had done all the repairs before all of the miscellaneous material hit the fan. So I'm mostly just recording some of the in-between stuff and this intro today. I have a bunch of stuff queued up ready to just film and get going. So hopefully I will be able to get back to my preferred cadence, which is one video every 2 weeks. Maybe missing one of those every now and then. So hopefully I'll be able to get back on track. So I'm going to do this by first, I want to do a little recap of what happened in the previous video. There were two computers that were basically just working. And so I'm going to take a quick look at those two. There was this Compaq ProLinea that had some pretty significant battery damage. That will be the first computer that I'm going to actually look at doing a repair on. And then there was another computer which I did a bunch of rearranging for my birthday party, and I can't find where it is in the in the basement. But there was another computer that just needed a recap. So I'll take a look at that. Yeah, let's just go right on ahead and dig into it. On the Pentium II PC, I managed to do just a very vanilla Windows 98 installation, and it just worked. I did not have to do any major surgery on it or anything, so that was very nice. You can take a look at it. So yep, Pentium II processor, registered to William H. Gates, 384 megs of RAM. It just worked. I did a similar very vanilla Windows 98 install on the K6-300 machine. I think it's neat that this actually has the... it's actually set up right. Go away. Go away. And again, it just started up and it just worked pretty well out of the box. I didn't have to do anything. I think in this one I did swap out the video card because I thought that the video card that was in it was interesting. This is a substantially similar video card. K6-300, 96 megabytes of RAM, registered. This is kind of my default, especially for Windows 98 computers that I'm not intending to keep, as I always register them to Uncle Bill. This old Compaq board has had a bath, and the battery was removed. I did that in the last video. I hit the whole region with some just distilled white vinegar, gave it a rinse, a brush with a soft toothbrush, some IPA, and over a week of drying. So it is definitely dry. Looking at it, a bunch of the components look a little bit crusty, and some of the solder pads are a little bit crusty, but I don't see any damage to the traces, so I'm not sure why there was nothing on the screen last time. If there is a problem with this board, I don't think it is in this 2 centimeter by 4 centimeter area of the board. I suspect it lies elsewhere. Perhaps the CPU is dead, or maybe it was just super angry about I don't know. There's a bunch of possibilities. I'm going to finish assembling it at least enough to do some further troubleshooting and then just give it a go. Since this VGA port has the annoying attribute of one of the pins holes not being a hole, I found that by switching the position of these two jumpers, the onboard VGA is disabled, and I installed just a known working ISA card. I haven't decided what I'm going to do about this connector. I'm kind of leaning towards using a Dremel and just drilling that hole out so that a regular VGA cable can be used with it. I've also hooked up, I have another little fairly janky webcam over here pointed at this screen, which is, oh my gosh, so low frame rate. But just so that you can see something. I felt when I was going back through the video on the last video, I felt kind of bad that here I am looking at the screen and seeing these things booting up and being all excited, and you got to see nothing. You had to just take my word for it. I'm going to go ahead and put a postcard in here. I have reinstalled the original CPU. I haven't clipped the heatsink back onto it. I don't think it's going to need it yet. In addition, I just found a 72-pin SIM in my stores and have installed that. And I'm just going to give this a try and see what it's going to do. So, oh, that's already a change, because before I got nothing on the postcode analyzer. It is doing some things. Oh, look at that! It's booting up, and it has counted up 4 megabytes of RAM, which is what I installed in here. Diskette controller error. System options not set. Runs. Oh, that's right. Oh. So, oh wait, maybe this one is. So some Compaqs, they don't have the BIOS set up in the ROM. You have to boot a floppy to do the setup. Okay, well, I'm gonna stop recording and switch some things around. Grab a keyboard, rehook up the floppy drive, and maybe we can actually do something with this. I'm suspecting now that the problem was maybe it really needed RAM in order to do anything, and so it was not gonna play at all last time. Okay, cool. I hooked up the floppy drive. Now, the IDE cable, if I remember, was hooked up in a very weird way. I'm hoping that there's nothing goofy with this. I hope it doesn't need anything goofy with this cable. I hope it is just normal. Be normal. And I hooked up a keyboard, and I just saw keyboard lights blink, so that was a good thing. Let's see if we get anything on it. Yes, this is a super filthy keyboard. No caps locks. I saw the lights come on. Let's see that again. Oh, I thought I saw them come on. Did I imagine it when it was coming up? Oh, floppy drive does something, so the cable must be fine. Keyboard, okay, does and nothing. Okay, so I wonder if some of this over here by the keyboard connector is actually no good. Let's try something here. I'd swear when I turned this on the first time there that I saw the keyboard blinking lights come on as they're supposed to. Okay. No jiggling on the keyboard connector does anything. Okay, I'm going to have to pull this out of the case here and take a closer look in this area and see if maybe there is something going on in there. Okay. I tried reflowing all the solder on the port and looking around at all the little components on here and trying to reflow the solder. It looked like maybe along here there actually was a trace that was damaged, and there was looking at the board, it looked like maybe there was supposed to be a trace and there was no continuity. It seems weird to go to this screw hole as a ground, but it's what it looked like. I spent 15 minutes trying to get a bodge on connecting this, whatever this passive is, through here, and that has not seemed to have any effect. So it still just says keyboard error. The keyboard lights come on when it powers on. I can't. This is why I did not even bother trying to mess around with that other board. Like, it is, I have a lot of skills. This is not one that I will ever have. So this one's also going to go in the scrap heap, which kind of sucks because it's like, it is so close to working, but it's trash because batteries. Oh well. I may yet come back to this Compaq. There's something fishy going on. I ultimately tried 2 different keyboards with this computer, the HP keyboard that showed up on camera and this digital branded keyboard that I really like just because it's digital branded, and I have a bunch of alphas that I like to use it with just because. And as we'll see later on when I'm working on the next computer, they both seem dead now. This keyboard, very briefly, there was like, I think 1 frame where when I plugged it in and turned on the computer, the numlock light came on, but then nothing more. And I think in that instant, something happened and it burned out the keyboard, which I don't understand. That is not a problem I have ever observed on a computer before. So I want to dig into that a little bit more. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to kind of put it maybe on the back burner. I want to consult with some other people I know in the area who may be a little bit more knowledgeable and see if I can get some advice about what the heck to do about that. But there is something. It really wants to work. It really wants to work. All right. So I'm going to move on to the next computer, and the video just kind of very abruptly begins, but this was the SuperSocket 7 computer that was in very serious need of a recap. So I'm going to go through and remove all of these caps and this one that also appears to be bulging. I have got the replacements off screen. I'm just going to remove them all, put all the new ones in, and let's see if this thing will come back to life. So for all these, I ended up ordering slightly higher voltage parts than they called for. Like these, I think these are all 6.3, and I think I ordered 10 volts of the same capacitance for all of them. I'm gonna have to go back through and clear out the holes. Well, that was just shockingly irritating. I don't even have words for how annoying that was. What I finally had to do was put the soldering iron on one side of the board, turned up full blast, put the solder vacuum, which is out of frame now, on the other side, and just hold them there for a good 20 seconds. And then run the vacuum to clear out the last 3 holes that just wouldn't. I don't understand. I don't understand, and I'm super frustrated. So now, let's do the thing I enjoy least in the entire universe. That's solder. This is going to be great. Let's start with this one over here. Well, that is a spectacularly ugly solder job. I'm not even sure if I should bother trimming those legs off. Oh, and I didn't even get that one. Oh, good grief. All right, yeah, I'm gonna have to trim those legs and hope that I haven't botched this. Well, they are super, super ugly. D+, if I'm generous. But I think they'll work. Let me grab the power supply and the video card. And I think that's the only other thing I need is power supply and a video card. And see if this works. Okay, moment of truth. Let's turn it on. And, oh, okay, this seems way better than what it was doing before, because what it was doing before was just maybe kind of getting here and then being angry and stupid. Okay, let's... Some success! I'm going to go get a bunch of different components, and I'm going to put this back in a case, and I'm going to clean the heatsink compound. I just cleaned the old heatsink compound because there was like a pint of it. There was so much off of there. I'll put some fresh on, and let's actually put this together into something and have some success, damn it. I've put pretty much all of the original components back in the system. I did not put in the original video card because as far as I can tell, it's totally dead. So I'm going to pop the heatsink off here in a moment so we can look at the chip and see what it is. I grabbed some other random AGP card out of a box over there. I have no idea what it is. We're going to find out together. And it's also, it's a similarly generic looking kind of deal. What else? Oh, I did not put back in the modem because it's a modem. But everything else should be hooked up the way that it was originally. I haven't hooked up all the case stuff. Assuming that this all works happily, I'm going to keep it, but I probably will not keep it in this case because I don't like this case, and I would prefer an ATX case with an ATX power supply that's going to be a little bit more reliable than this. And we have happy boot up. Detecting. So I only hooked up one set of the IDE drives. And I notice, when I unplugged the drive that I didn't connect, and I notice it's not doing the Vwrop. So I wonder if this drive is having some issues. Okay. Oh. Keyboard error or no keyboard present. There sure should be a keyboard present because it's plugged in. But it's okay. Let me try an actual AT keyboard instead of a PS2 keyboard with an adapter. See if that. Okay, so we get caps lock on. So that's interesting. That may explain some things. All right, let's take a look at the setup. All the usual sort of stuff. Nothing super interesting in the BIOS. actually not going to mess around with any of this. Alright, let's boot it up. So I'll probably pull out at least this hard drive and we'll take a look at it. We'll see if this is going to boot up into something. Whatever it's going to boot up into is going to get angry because the video card is different, and I'm sure it's not. Windows ME. All right. That is funny. I don't know that I have ever run this version of Windows. What? No. Stop. Please stop. Please stop. Please stop scan disking. So it's detecting hardware, but that was in here. So that's weird. Maybe I put it in a different PCI slot and it's being... Or maybe it's just being old Windows. Let's see if it can figure out at all what this video card is. One thing that... Oh, gosh. Hold, please. So I wonder what it's going to say that... So it... Did it find a driver, or is it just going to say it's VGA? One thing that has always irritated me about these versions of Windows, and I don't know, maybe even modern versions of Windows do this, is if there's a hardware device that it doesn't know, show me what the PCI ID is, because I might not know what that thing is either, and I want to go look it up. But it's just like, nope, there's something in your computer. Like, oh, come on. Help a person out. Help a person out. It detects my monitor. Oh, good grief. Remember the good old days? Alright. Let's see. Log off, Joe. What? The sound. I hope the sound of just the disk grinding away like crazy. I hope that comes through. Was I just commenting about the good old days? Oh my goodness. Okay, so it detects the system. I wonder how... Oh, that is not coming through very well. Display adapters, it just says standard PCI, and you get to know nothing about what it is. So I still have no idea what card this is. Like it ought to at least be able to tell you, oh, it's made by so-and-so, so you can, like... Okay. Alright. I'm going to call this system working. I'm obviously going to reinstall it, and I'll probably put in a different video card and do a bunch of different stuff. I'm going to call that success. Alright, I'm going to shut this down. And then we will very rudely rip the heatsink off of this thing. And see what... It is now safe to turn off my computer. Well, alrighty then. Where's that power button? Where's the power button? Boom. Okay. Alright. I'm going to move this out of the way, and we'll rip apart this card. And I'll probably also pull out this hard drive so we can take a look at it. Because that was the thing going Vwrop. Pulled these two bits out. Let's take a look at them. First, I'm going to take a look at this hard drive. I got a little external power supply here, so we will see. We will now be able to confirm if the little star here Seagate Medalist is in fact the thing that was going Vwrop. Plugged in properly? Oh yeah. That does not. That is for sure not a happy hard drive sound. So this is definitely the Vwrop. Okay. All right. Well, that solves that mystery. Okay. I wonder what happened to it. Poor little fella. And then this thing. So I wonder if there was some kind of a power surge or something that ruined the video card and ruined this hard drive or something. I'm not sure. Let's see here. So I'm going to pop out these pins. Let's see. Can I get this off of here without... Oh, no, I was wrong. Okay. So, no great loss. If it had been some, like even a TNT Vanta or an M64 or whatever, I would have been sad that it was dead. But an SIS 305, I will not shed any tears over its loss. Now I may try and desolder the little ROM chip here to reuse, and I may desolder some components off of this to try to reuse, like the VGA connector or that ROM or something. Okay. So one of the worst video cards ever made died. Moment of silence. Okay, off you go. But the computer is now back working, so that's something. Now, funny story about that random video card that I found somewhere in the back and put into that computer. It was the exact same model as the dead one that I took out. I eventually found, I think, through the post boot up screen, where it displays the processor and the RAM and all that stuff, and it displays PCI IDs there. And I looked it up, and sure enough, it was another SIS card. That, when I found that, I literally laughed out loud. That was amazing. So, where am I now? All right. I have 3 computers that are working out of the initial 6. The Compaq is still dead, but maybe it'll come back. The weird 486 that also has a 386 socket that had a little bit of battery damage but was working. That is going to come back in a video sometime later. I want to play around with that. I want to put a 386 with a VLB video card. I want to add that to my Doom benchmarks because I can. And then there's the EISA 486. That also is going to get a dedicated video. There's a bunch of EISA stuff I want to do. I do still need to find the appropriate EISA config software for that computer. I haven't done that yet. So there's enough on each of those computers to make specific videos about them. But for now, I'm probably going to wander away from PC stuff for a little bit. I have some other toys that I want to get out and mess around with. So there should be more videos coming soon. It will not be 7 or 8 weeks again. I hate it when that happens. If you are interested in seeing any of those future videos, I highly recommend that you click the subscribe button. If you enjoyed this video or felt my pain through the soldering and desoldering, please click the like button. And until next time, even about the horrible March that I just had, try to remember the good stuff.